season of game releases, in this video we'll be going over the top 10 games of fall 2016 so far. Keep in mind, fall began on September 21st, so any games released before then will not be present on this list. With that being said, let's get right into this. Number 10, Dragon Quest Builders. Dragon Quest Builders has been one of the most surprising games of the year, a Minecraft-style build and creation game set in the Dragon Quest universe. It sounds like the most odd concept for a game, but DQ Builders proves to be something very good. The game isn't for everyone, but for those that are a fan of DQ, even with the different style of play, it's a great game with a lot of fan service. Sure, it may not be the traditional Dragon Quest game you were looking for, but it's still worth playing.
As you progress, you will be able to craft more powerful tools such as hammers and axes to gather even stronger materials. Better tools, better materials, better buildings. Once you have the essentials mastered, you can start finding ways to gather more efficiently. Or why not venture forth to the uncharted lands to find rare materials? Of course, it's not just about collecting. Many rewards are won through completing quests for people in need, discovering hidden treasure, and hunting fearsome monsters. To improve every aspect of your town and enable you to traverse the realm with confidence and valor, you'll be working hard, crafting numerous objects of necessity and finery. You can construct many buildings, each with specific purposes. Make sure you have enough materials to create what you want. Advanced items require more components that are...
Number 9, Rise of the Tomb Raider on PS4. Rise of the Tomb Raider originally released on the Xbox One a year ago, but it has finally arrived to the PlayStation 4 in the form of the 20th Anniversary Edition. It's essentially the same game, but there are a few perks such as the DLC content and a new VR mode. Rise of the Tomb Raider is a fantastic game, and if you played the first game and enjoyed that, this builds upon every area of that game. A better story, better gameplay, it's just overall a better game. $60 may be a bit steep for what is essentially a one-year-old game, but at the very least, buy it discounted. Number 8, XCOM 2 on consoles. XCOM 2 was one of the best PC games of the year. That version released back in February, but the game only arrived on consoles this fall. Now, the definitive version of XCOM 2 is definitely the PC version. However, it makes a nice transition onto consoles, and if that's your only option, it's still very good. If you played XCOM Enemy Unknown, XCOM 2 is very much similar to that game, but considering how good Enemy Unknown was, that isn't a bad thing at all. For fans of strategy games, XCOM 2 is a must-play.
The time has come to conquer our last remaining frontiers and lead the resistance to victory on all fronts.
Number 7, Shadow Warrior 2. The first Shadow Warrior was one of the surprisingly great games of recent years, and the sequel only builds upon that. Now with much more weapons, a more open level design, and cooperative play. If you enjoyed the first Shadow Warrior 2 is a must-buy, and if you never played the first game, go play that because you can pick it up for very cheap. Currently, Shadow Warrior 2 is only available on PC, but it is expected to release on consoles next year. Number 6, The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Special Edition. The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim was one of the most iconic games of last generation, but on consoles it suffered heavily due to technical limitations, par of the course with Bethesda open world games. Now 5 years later, it has made its way to current gen consoles with your typical remastering benefits. This is a far better experience than what you had on last gen platforms, and while the $60 price tag was steep, considering you get all the DLC, it's a lot of content for the money. Number 5, Gears of War 4. Gears of War 4 was one of the many shooters that released this fall season, and surprisingly, most of them were very good games, Gears of War 4 in that category. The single player is great, the story was a nice change of pace, the multiplayer is still your fantastic Gears fare. Quality cover-based third-person shooting. Gears of War 4 isn't revolutionizing Gears, but it is a quality-filled experience.
What the hell just happened?
I think it upgraded!
Can we downgrade it?
Frag out!
Hey! Hey, try flanking them!
Die. Destroy.
These guys are smarter.
You're not smarter than us. What are you saying?
Not than us, than before.
Oh. Yeah. One down! Frag out! Okay, that's all of them.
I do not like those guys.
Did they just crawl out of an emergence hole? No, I don't think so. It's like some kind of nest.
Number 4, Civilization 6. Civilization is back once again with Civilization 6, and for fans of the series or those looking for a deep, complex strategy game, Civ 6 should be on the top of your list. There are several new additions to the series that fans will have to get used to, and for those that never played a style of game like this, there is a learning curve to the game. However, if you have some patience, there is a lot of fun to be had and a lot of time that can be sunk into Civilization 6.
Well done. But this enemy cannot be left to lick its wounds and fight again. Our onslaught must be absolute. To the victor goes the spoils. Our civilization heals and grows more powerful.
Number 3, Titanfall 2. Titanfall 2 has one of the more sad stories of the year. The game is an absolutely fantastic first-person shooter, but it had the unfortunate fate of being released around the time of 2 other gigantic first-person shooters, and unfortunately, it fell a bit to the wayside. Know that the game is excellent, and Respawn greatly built upon the faults of the first game. There's a campaign this time, and while it's not anything amazing, it's a nice addition. The multiplayer is far better and much more replayable. The question remains on how long will there be an active player base for the game, but for now, it's alive and a blast to play.
I don't think that team knows who they're messing with.
Number 2, Forza Horizon 3. Forza has become one of the main staples to the Xbox One's library. Now it's on Windows 10 too, and while some may find it to have gotten stale, the Horizon games are very different than the traditional motorsport games. These are more arcadey, open-world racing games with amazing visuals, fantastic audio, and a lot of content. Whether you're a racing game fan or not, Horizon 3 is worth playing, and if you enjoyed Horizon 2, Horizon 3 blows that game out of the water. Definitely check it out. Finally, number 1, Battlefield 1. Battlefield 1 has been one of the big franchises in all of gaming in recent years, but after Battlefield 4 and Battlefield Hardline, some were getting a bit tired of the game, so give credit to DICE and EA for giving the series a fresh coat of paint with a new setting of World War I. Now, to some that may seem like a stark shift for the franchise, but this is still very much Battlefield at the core. The weaponry, level design is a nice change of pace, and it makes the overall experience different enough, but not straying too far away from what we've known. Between Titanfall 2 and this, you have some pretty good options if you're looking for a great multiplayer first-person shooter. There's COD 2, but that falls far below the aforementioned 2.
There! Ammunition! Enemy dropshipper! Stay alert! Some ammo! Take it! There's ammo! Thank you.
Halfway there, keep it up.
So that wraps up our top 10 games of Fall 2016 so far. What do you think? Which games have you enjoyed from Fall most thus far? Comment your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.